Hello there. Thanks a lot for coming by PosterCentral.com's video blog today. I'm Pete Howard, and I'm fairly certain this is the widest concert poster I've ever shown you here on my blog. I've never done a billboard, but look at this thing. This is just a beautiful, gorgeous poster for the most important and impactful weekend in the history of rock, which I certainly don't have to tell you. Mid-August of 1969, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. What a weekend it was, I'll tell you. Now, of course, it was no way to make money for the promoters, Michael Lang and so forth, but it changed the music business and pop culture forever, making this poster just terrific fun to have as a keepsake and memento of the advertising that went down. Now, the vertical red paper poster is a classic, with Arnold Skolnick's dove on the guitar neck, just like this poster has. But it is, as far as collectors are concerned, it's pretty ubiquitous. Made of paper, and it's sort of everywhere, and for that reason it sort of dogs us collectors with, tales of overruns, after prints from the original plates, and of course bootlegs. Now, I'm not going to comment on that poster. I don't have one to show you, and frankly I just don't know. But what I do know is that none of that applies to this horizontal cardboard bus sign. Boy, I'll tell you, it's much scarcer than the poster, and it adorned, of course, the side of buses around New York and so forth leading up to the festival. Boy, the size of this thing, though, as I said, the widest thing I've done, about 45.5 inches wide by 21.5 inches tall, and boy, is it heavy and thick cardboard. I'll tell you, really meant to withstand, the weather elements riding around New York on the side of a bus and everything. So it's this thing has poundage to it. There's definitely no doubt about that. Now, it was done at the same time as the paper poster, so it does have the exact same lineup as the poster. In fact, I think I'll move my chair and get in just a tad closer for this. And so since it has, there you see, it's in 3 columns, though, the exact talent lineup as the paper poster, and it's false advertising in just 2 cases, and both of those were on Sunday, involving the Jeff Beck Group and Iron Butterfly. And Jeff Beck's group included, by the way, Rod Stewart and Ronnie Wood, but Beck just split up the band, just right before the festival and flew home to England, so there's nothing they could do about that. Now, Iron Butterfly, on the other hand, it's really a shame because they their album In-A-Gadda-Da-Vida, which, if you remember, if you were there in the late 60s, that had been on Billboard's album chart for a year and was still in the top 10 a year later. It was really an FM underground radio staple. So, unfortunately the Butterfly did not check their ego at the door, and they sort of overplayed their hand, if you will, with too many demands, such as their own chartered helicopter, and they were simply bounced from the festival. So what we can do is take those 2 out of Sunday's column, and let's put in the 2 that did play on Sunday but are not on the poster. Let's drop in Country Joe and the Fish and the Paul Butterfield Blues Band. And if you were to do that, you would have a poster that's even closer to totally accurate, and cooler too, but not quite 100% accurate, because it would still be missing 3 performers that played that famous weekend. And as luck would have it, the 3 that I haven't mentioned yet, there's 1 on each day, so we could simply drop them down at the bottom of each column. If this poster wasn't so scarce, you could just get an extra copy and have an artistic friend make all these changes and put it on your wall and say, look at this, it's totally accurate, But anyway, there is room to easily add the 3 that I haven't mentioned yet to the end of each column, and that would be Friday would be Melanie, right? Saturday afternoon would be John Sebastian, and then, again, these names are not on the poster, and then Sunday night would be Sha Na Na, and believe me, it's a loose term when I say Sunday night, because what happened is that night, as you might recall, ran all night long, and so Sha Na Na actually came on at 7:30 Monday morning, just before Jimi Hendrix, and of course their At the Hop is a really fun part of the movie, but Sha Na Na did not make it onto the advertising posters. But the poster layout people, they had their act together. This thing is so heavy I have to rest my arm for a second. Right below the Who, you can probably see here, if I get in a little, why don't I get in close to show it to you? Sure, it does say in fine print there, it says, all programs subject to change without notice. And of course, if you were part of the Woodstock experience, even in just seeing the movie, you know how changing that whole 3-day weekend was, and how flying by the seat of the pants the whole affair was. But as I said, the biggest, most important weekend in the history of rock, and you know, it's just only grown with legend with time, and will always be a fantastically remembered weekend and a cultural touchstone. So great to have this big, heavy original advertising piece. I should give Skolnick's logo a little more love here before I sign off. Super familiar. Just, you know, I need special studio equipment to get this whole thing in the viewfinder. But anyway, you get the gist, you see the poster. It's a great fun piece. So thanks a lot for dropping by, and we'll see you next time for something that I hope is lighter and a little easier to handle. I think I'll go to a 14 by 22 window card next just to rest my arms. Have a good day. Take care. See you soon. Bye-bye.